Okay, this is a follow-up video on burning the coal gun boiler and the Tarm Biomass gasification boiler at the same time into the same system. If you didn't watch the first video, you should see a link in this video somewhere. You should go watch that, or you can find a link in the description. But I started this boiler before I went on a camp trip this last weekend, this coal boiler, and let the wood boiler go out. And then when I got back Sunday, I started the wood boiler up, and my thoughts were to try to determine if I could run them both at the same time. So I started the wood boiler up early in the morning and ran it into the night, and the fire went out around 3 or 4 in the morning, and this coal boiler then kicked in and started to heat until I got up and started another fire on the wood burner. The question was going to be always, would this coal boiler stay lit if it wasn't calling for heat for like 18 hours? You can hear the blower running now. It is burning now. So it is a forced draft boiler, and my thoughts were, will the coal go out if that does not call for heat for that long a time, because the wood boiler is providing heat to the system? You know, the answer was twice now, two mornings in a row, it worked fine. The coal boiler started up when the wood boiler stopped running, stopped heating, and the coal was still burning, so it picked right up and took right off. This is a 2010 model Tarms, and there's probably different controls on them now, I'm sure. Well, I know there is. But anyway, my other thought was, this has a blower on it too. I didn't want that blower running when there was no wood fire in here, cooling down the boiler basically. So there is a control right here that you can set up that senses flue temperature, and when the flue temperature gets so low, it shuts that fan off, thinking that the fire's out. And I had to adjust that higher than what it was when I was normally running it, but I did get that tweaked to where the blower will shut down when the fire's pretty well out. So all in all, I'm happy with the experiment. When coal comes back down in price, I will run both these boilers together, because the Tarm is a little bit undersized for the amount of area that I'm trying to heat. 3,000 square foot home plus the greenhouse, and it has enough BTU output that it heats everything all right, but depending on the temperature outside, 5 hours, between 4 and 5 hours is the best I can get out of a load of wood, and this thing does hold a lot of wood, but that's the best I can get out of it. So I'm not paying $500 a ton this year for coal, but when coal comes back down, I'll run them both, and I won't be getting up in the middle of the night and early morning to keep the wood boiler going. And for the last 10 years I've been running this alternative heating coal gun boiler. Great boiler, but it started up after Thanksgiving and run it until I don't need it anymore, and I run around 5 ton of coal through it. At today's prices, that's too much money, but I'm hoping that with this hooked in now that I can get that usage down to, you know, maybe a 2 ton, hopefully. We'll see. All right, that's it for the experiment, and as far as I'm concerned, it was a success. I know how to run them both together now. The coal boiler doesn't go out. That was my biggest concern. And we'll talk later when coal prices come down.